Hey, what's going on YouTube? All Motor Rob here again. Just want to show you guys what I'm going to be doing today in the car. It's going to be some electrical work. You guys see here, I got everything kind of lined up, laid out on the table here. That way you guys can see what I'm doing and I can be a little bit more organized. So let me talk you guys through this real quick. I put a kill switch on the car here a while ago, but I never wired it in. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to wire that kill switch in. And the reason why we're going to put that kill switch, the reason why it's there and why we're going to wire it in is because some of the rules for the track is you have to have an external kill switch on the car. And, you know, God forbid if anything ever happened that was bad, track officials can quickly kill the power to the car. So, you know, for safety reasons. So make sure that you guys are, you know, thinking ahead of time, because anytime you relocate your battery, they want you to do this. Even if it's like just a regular street car or whatever that you take out every once in a while, you should have a kill switch on the back. So we're gonna wire that thing in today, and what we're gonna use for the wiring is just some simple jumper cables that I bought a while ago for this specific purpose. I want to say that this is, I think it might be like 8 gauge. I don't know. I think it'll be plenty though. We don't have a whole lot going into the car, you know, pulling power. So got another Odyssey battery, guys. Finally got another one. I had to order this one online because nobody around here had it. So this here battery is the model number here is the PC680, and this is good for this type of setup with the car here. So finally got this thing in. Got, you know, a nice little sticker with it. What else we got here? These are all for the kill switch. I bought this here hole saw to cut the hole into the bumper cover in the front, and I bought a pack of rivets here so that way we can start riveting things in. Electrical tape because I ran out. Got my rivet gun. We got some sheet metal here, and the reason for the sheet metal is because you see this is laid out on top of it. This looks nice, but I'm not really feeling it. I don't want to put it on the car. That actually goes over the hood exit header. It gets riveted into the hood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own out of this here sheet metal, and I'm thinking something more along the lines of a teardrop shape. So I'll use this to cut the hole out, you know, for the header to fit through, or the opening end of the header, and or exhaust I should say. And then we'll drop a little template or something, and then cut it out with some metal snips. Not a big deal. So yeah, guys, I think that's the goal for today. Now that we have the battery in, we can take the front bumper off, swap the old battery out, put this new one in, and then we can actually start securing that front bumper on there in a much better way. All right, so what we're doing here is I just riveted up these two pieces together. Now I can take this whole thing off and begin cutting the hole for my velocity stack. Now, quick little trick I just figured out here. I got my two long screwdrivers, and my velocity stack, my intake piping is coming out right here. So I have this right here up against them, and then I got wire here. And that's what this is going to do for me. Let me lower this down a bit. So what that wire is going to do for me is it's going to, if I pull it tight and try to keep it straight, it's going to show me where that piping is. So I already know it's here because I measured it with a measuring tape down through here, and this is the lowest point. So this right here, so now I'm just going to tape this. This one nice and tight and straight. Tape it. And then do the same thing on this one. There, and now take a piece of tape like this, run it behind these two wires, give myself just a little extra. Now that should be pretty close to where my intake piping runs. So I'll use that hole saw and I'm gonna cut it right there, right in the center. And real fast, I'm gonna double check my measurements here just because I want to be 100% sure before I go ahead and before I drill a hole into this. So I'm gonna measure again from the top of the bumper to the top of my piping, right in the center. And we are at 4.5 inches from the top of my intake piping to the top of the bumper. So now I'm going to start from here at 4.5 inches, which is right about here. So the top of my intake piping is right there, so it's pretty spot on. I'm going to measure this right here. So it's right there, and the center line is right here. Hey, so it's day 2. You guys see I got my well, you can't see, now you can see. I got my canopy set up, and that's because yesterday while I was working I got interrupted abruptly, and I kind of had to stop and pack up and go home. But I'm out here again, and it's just slightly raining. Very small particles. So plan is still the same. You know, I want to take this bumper off and you know, put the new battery in, the new Odyssey battery, and I want to wire in the kill switch. And then if there's time, I do want to cut that hole out, the velocity stack. But today the main goal is the battery. So we're gonna get that battery in and get this kill switch wired up. So what I got here is I got some jumper cables, 12 feet long, and you guys can see it's pretty much from where the battery goes down to the back of the car. Come on, light, turn on. And you see it's just barely long enough. It's actually not long enough. So what I did on my way here is I picked up another set of jumper cables, and these are 8 gauge. So I'll just splice them together, and then we'll have more than enough room. So not really a big deal. So yes, let's get to work, guys. Also too, guys, we got the O2 sensor in the mail today. So now we can swap this out. We'll put this one in, I mean. So there we go. Let's get some light on it. So it's a replacement. All right, guys. Sorry about the lighting. Having to work inside here right now, and it's raining a little bit. I'm too lazy to set up my my power inverter to run some lights in here, so I just got some of my regular work lights set up. So what I'm about to do right now is I'm gonna split these here battery cables apart and splice them. Okay, so that way we have enough cord here or wire. So I'm just gonna break these down real quick, split them straight down the middle. This is 8 gauge wire. So this should be good to run the kill switch, but we'll check everything to make sure that nothing's heating up. I'm just cutting these off. I don't need these, you know, these are pretty much garbage as far as I'm concerned. So don't need that. Didn't buy the cords for that. Okay. Cut the other one. Here we go. So now we got those cut. I'm just gonna go ahead and peel back this wire. And I bought these here, these connectors, these butt connectors, to splice these together. And I'll probably throw some heat shrink over them. So let's just go ahead and peel back this wire. Now I'm going to get my heat shrink out. Okay. I run my heat shrink down over this if it'll fit. No, it won't. So we'll have to use a bigger heat shrink. Just going to Run that over like that. Now I'm going to peel this other wire. Get this one ready. Same thing, about 1/2 inch. There we go. Now, put that over there. See that? Nice and easy. Let's turn this light brighter. Okay. And I'm going to take this end here. We're going to plug it. I've crimped wires with these guys. I don't know if this is what it's intended for, but it sure is what I use it for. I just stick it right back up in there. These here metal snips, and crank this baby down. God dang. I need to get some real crimpers one of these days. Let's try to do that again just to make sure. That's gotta be good now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run a power wire coming from the fuse box into the kill switch, and then another wire is gonna be running from the kill switch to the battery. And so that way, when you break circuit, it kills the power to the fuse box. All right, so I'm just gonna heat this thing up, and I'm gonna feed some solder into it. If this little torch doesn't work, I'll use the big one. Just try not to use too much here. All right, solder's starting to melt. Make sure you guys have a fan or something, that way you're not breathing in these fumes from the solder. All right, so all I'm gonna do now is I got my cable here. I heat shrunk it real quick. I'm just gonna feed it in through the inside here because you can see that my battery, my cutoff switch is right here, my kill switch. So I'm gonna feed this here cable, just gonna roll it up and then throw it to the front of the car. That's pretty good. Now I'm just going to feed it up to the battery, measure how long it is, and then I'll cut it and then wire another connector on this end over here. Alright guys, so this is going to do it for this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next video. I'm going to show you guys more in depth on all the wiring that I did and when I wire in the fuse for the cables and everything. So stay tuned, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see y'all in the next video.